All right, so for my last video, I will talk about for loops and just explain how they are, what they're useful for, and how they operate. So initially, what is a for loop? A for loop is best used for when you kind of already know how many times you want a code to run. A while loop is better when you have no idea, because while some condition hasn't been met, run the code. But in this case, you even have to say how many times you want to run the code, and that's when you use for loop. So right now we have a scanner. We're collecting what is a number and getting that from the input and giving it a title input. Here's just a basic for loop, explain what each section is. So for, first define a variable and set it equal to something. This will be the first instance. So I set it equal to I, or I made mine I and set it equal to 0. So the first time it runs through this code, I will be 0. Then here, this is when the code should stop. So I is less than or equal to 12. And each time we run this code, I will be equal to I plus 2. So if I have this all set up, and I'm every time we run through this for loop, input will go up by 3, and then we're going to output the input, and every time it should go up by 3, and it should do the cycle 6 times, because I will start off at 0, then I will go up by 2, then 4, then 6, then 8, then 10, then 12, and then finally the code will stop, and that will be the end. So let's run the code. First we'll compile it. We're going to increment by 3, 42, 45. You know what? An even better way. Let's output I plus space and then the input. That. Perfect. Now 42. When I is 0, I is equal to 45, or input is equal to 45. When I is 2, input's equal to 48, and we keep going through this until finally we reach 12, and the final value is 63. So for loops are extremely useful, and I highly recommend using them.